When it comes to online college, Southern New Hampshire University is so good, it's scary. Listen, the facts don't lie. SNHU has degree programs that fit your goals, online classes that fit your life, and real support at every step. And if that wasn't enough, they've got some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. This is an airtight case, you guys. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to get started. That's snhu.edu/morbid. These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to, probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid.
You seem to be questioning that.
I'm questioning my sanity lately, what I'm doing.
I don't even question mine anymore. I just know she's simply not there.
I don't question it. You just accept it.
Lately, I just keep saying simply, like, I'm like, we simply don't.
I like that.
You know, we simply cannot do that.
It honestly makes everything sound more adorable.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I simply will not do that.
Simply not happening.
I simply will not do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for checking.
I like that. And you know what? It's funny that we're speaking like in slight British affectations here because my case is from Britain.
Whoa. The case I was just working on involved the royal family, so that's weird.
There you go. We're connected.
We are one.
And you know why? And even more so because I'll get into the case in a second, but my case happens during the coronation festivities of none other than Queen Elizabeth II.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And weren't you just looking up something for a case about like her great-great-grandfather or something?
Yeah. I just did it. I think it was her great-great-grandfather.
Yeah.
Or her great-great-great-grandfather.
He was great.
He was an awesome grandfather.
He was such a cool grandfather.
He was the V111.
There you go.
So I don't know what number that is. He had to abdicate.
Isn't that the 8th?
Sure.
I think V is 5. I might be
V is
totally lying about
definitely 5. I know that.
V is 5, and then I think you add the other ones on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because Henry was V111. So yeah, you're right. And
so
he was the
there you
8th. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah.
Look at me. Roman numerals.
Working on a case that involves Edward before he was king.
Well, there you go.
Edward the 8th, presumably.
Well, technically, my case it's not about Queen Elizabeth, but it happens before she was queen officially.
Ooh.
So there's that.
Well, so much royal.
So much royal.
Oh.
And speaking of like royal and the UK and all that fun stuff, I just wanted to shout out a podcast that I came across the podcast when I was researching this case. And it was a really cool podcast. And I just wanted to let you guys know that if you're not listening to it, you should. Excuse me while I find the name of it. It is the Murder Mile podcast. It's Murder Mile UK. And it's hosted by Michael Buchanan Dunn. He has done an amazing job. He does his sources are outrageous. Like he uses a lot of like really, really original old sources. He does like tours in the UK about these things. He's just he's really good at it. And I just wanted to tell you to listen to him because he's great.
You should, because I really like the surname Buchanan.
I do too, like Daisy Buchanan.
That's my immediate thought.
But
not like Tom, though.
But there's actually like a couple of things in this case that he was able to uncover that were really interesting. So if you listen to this case and you're like, wow, I would love to hear even more, head on over there. And he's got a lot of stuff, and he's got a lot of cool cases. So this is the case of the Towpath murders.
Okay.
I originally found this case because I was looking at the show Murder Maps, which I've mentioned before. I think I found like Bermondsey Horror on there and stuff too. It's such a cool show. It's like, it's so funny because Ash is like, my show's like Snapped and mine is Murder Maps. And it is a very good representation of us as people. Because Murder Maps is like really old. Like a lot of like European cases, but like super old.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of like older British men talking about these cases. Like that's my speed.
I like the like salaciously scandalous things.
Yeah. You're a salaciously scandalous.
Yeah, like
kind of
right
human.
now I'm working on something that involves an affair.
An affair.
A lustrous affair.
A torrid affair.
Actually.
So go watch Murder Maps too. It's a cool show. But this is the Towpath murders. And like I said, it happened during the festivities surrounding Queen Elizabeth II's coronation in the 1950s. And the first attack in this series of rapes and murders happened 9 days before Queen Elizabeth II was officially crowned queen. Ooh. Now, coronations are a big deal.
You've seen Frozen.
Yeah. Like, it's Coronation Day.
It's a big deal. Even fucking Rapunzel comes.
Exactly. Rapunzel and Flynn Rider.
Yes.
Come. There you go. Now, they're a big deal, especially this one. People from everywhere came to London to experience the excitement, the new hope that was coming along with this coronation. Like, it was a big deal, according to all the British people that I listened to about this.
All right.
But again, I was not there. I don't know. But the weather had taken a turn for the better in London. I think they had dealt with like this crazy, like fog smog deal for a while that made like a ton of
and weird weather.
Yeah,
lately.
I don't know.
Sorry to interrupt, but like, what's with you?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
What's with you? What is with you in the weather?
Well, and this weather made a bunch of people sick. It like killed people. Like it was like a really bad situation. But then we were in a really good stretch of warm weather at this point. This is taking place in 1953, and there was like warmth, sunshine, it was sticking around for a while, which is pretty unusual, especially in London. So it had this whole feeling associated with this like new beginning, like they were coming out of a massive depression. Like it was all feeling very hopeful. People were still dealing with all the stuff from the war. It's just like a whole, sunshine is like you're like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take some sunshine out of all this.
Every now and again, you need a little Mr. Sun.
Golden sun.
Thank you.
Please shine down on me. So because of the weather and the party atmosphere surrounding this coronation business, there was a lot of people just out and about. And in Teddington, by the River Thames, there was a huge stretch of meadows and open land that teens and young adults would, they would basically camp out on the banks. And they would have, like, picnics. And it had this, like, it was almost like a festival atmosphere, but without the capitalism.
Cool.
It was just people hanging out, picnicking, camping, just fishing, going on boats, like really cool little just carefree atmosphere.
I like it a lot.
This was all needed just to set the scene of where this is going to happen, by the way. So May 24th, 1953, a young man, only 22 years old, waited on Oxshott Heath and attacked a 14-year-old girl who was walking her dog out of nowhere. He walked by her she walked by him. He was on a bike, a blue bicycle. She walked by him. He just kind of stared at her, ended up turning around, following her. And once she was on a more secluded path, I'm not going to say her name, by the way, because she is alive, but she was 14 years old and she was brutally raped. Now, he followed her, waited until she went to a more secluded path, and then he, out of nowhere, snuck up behind her and swung the blunt side of a hatchet at the back of her head.
Oh my God.
He then dragged her into the bushes and violently raped her. Then he just left her there.
Oh my God.
Now, luckily, she lived and was able to describe her attacker, even though she had just been violently raped and literally axed in the head.
Like, had head trauma for sure.
She said he was wearing blue overalls. He was younger. He had brown gloves on, which it was like warm out. And he had crepe-soled shoes and had a black saddlebag and a yellow and black axe or hatchet. Mm-hmm. She also said he had a cleft chin and was big, like strong big.
Ooh.
Now, his description was released everywhere, and a man named Harry Bedford ended up calling police shortly after this to say he had seen the news and the man's description, and he said he felt like he had actually seen this man, and he said he had walked by him. It was off the towpath and near like Oxshott Heath where this crime occurred, and he said that he saw this man throwing knives at a tree. And he said he was wearing the same thing, like appeared to be the same guy. So police, and he was like, I just saw him, so he might still be there, by the way. So police show up and he's there. So they bring the man in for questioning. That man was 22-year-old Alfred Charles Whiteway. He was questioned, but they kind of didn't have anything on him besides he was wearing the same outfit and like was in the same area.
Right.
But like, you can't really do that. So he was questioned and he said he had an alibi. So they released him. I guess they even like apologized when they released him. Like, sorry for taking up your time. That brings us to Sunday. So of course this crime is just kind of, they don't know who did it. They're going to still look for people, but they haven't found anyone yet. So that brings us to Sunday, May 31st, which is only a few days later. This was on Teddington Loch, which is where I was talking about that people would camp out near the River Thames and Teddington Loch.
Festival minus capitalism.
Exactly. This is where 3 teenage boys, John Wells, Albert Sparks, and Peter Warren, were camping out by the river at Teddington Loch. Just keep this in mind because this is kind of important to the story that these 3 boys were camping out on Teddington Loch at this point. They were going to be there for a few days, just kind of like hanging out, having fun. Also around the area at this time was 18-year-old Christine Reed and 16-year-old Barbara Songhurst. They had taken their bikes out to ride around the tree line that day, around the campsites, just kind of saying hi to people. It was a towpath that ran from Teddington to Richmond, and they rode this pretty regularly. This wasn't like a new thing. They were always riding their bikes down here. Now, 16-year-old Barbara was actually going to be participating in a bathing beauty pageant that was going on as part of the coronation fun.
Go off, queen.
Yeah. They were both best friends. They were very sweet. They didn't get into any trouble. They were just like wholesome, the 2 of them, and they were beautiful. They were close with their families. They always returned home when they said they would. And they were described as very modern women. Like they were, they were like ahead of their time. Yeah. And you look at their outfits too in any of the pictures and you're like, you were just cool.
Yeah, because you showed me one photo of them and you can tell like they have something.
Yeah. And it's like, and everyone who knew them said that they just like to have fun, but like super chill fun.
Yeah.
They were just like good people to have around. Everybody liked them. Now, this day they weren't just riding around their bikes around the towpath. They were headed somewhere particular. They were headed to the campsite with those 3 boys that I mentioned before.
Yeah, brother.
Now, one of them knew the boys. I don't know which one. But Barbara and Christine obviously had been best friends forever. They go everywhere together.
Yeah.
So if one of them was going, the other one was going.
Oh, and it was always so exciting when you were like a teenager and your girlfriend knew some cute boys and like there were no parents around one weekend and you'd go like hang out with the cute boys.
It's true. Like that like idea of like we're going to ride our bikes to this campsite where these 3 cute boys are. It's like, oh my God, they were probably so excited.
And just like, that's so fun. Like, you know that feeling.
And it's even more adorable because they rode their bikes like down the towpath to the campsite, and then they just hung out. They talked. They were playing, like, every source I saw said they were playing like hide and seek and like chasing each other.
Oh,
they kissed.
Yes.
And like just really adorable, wholesome shit.
Yeah.
All the boys maintained later, all three of these boys said, like, nothing happened. Like, nobody was having sex with anybody. Like, this was all very wholesome fun. Like,
get your head out of the mud.
They literally
everybody.
were like, because unfortunately later this does come up as something that they need to ask these boys. Mm-hmm. And all of them were like, this was literally us, like, chasing each other around like little kids. Like, that's what we did.
Very, very.
Yeah. And
words.
Very, very not salacious or anything.
Yes.
It was very wholesome. Just the stuff that you remember doing when you were like young, you know. So they got back on their bikes during the afternoon after they had a lot of fun. They went back to Christine's parents' house to have lunch. Then they got back on their bikes and came back to the campsite, hung out for longer, got back on their bikes, went back to Christine's, had tea because tea
time.
Love that. They had their tea, and then they went back out around 8 p.m. to the campsite again. Mm-hmm. They made it to the campsite. They hung out there for longer. Apparently, we're having a great time because they're just coming back each time. And they hung out there until sometime a little before 11 p.m. And that's when they said, you know, we have to get going. And the boys all said that they walked them to the towpath. I think I read in a couple of sources that one of them handed them a light to put on their bike. Yeah. But then I also saw in a couple of sources that they had lights on their bike, but only one of them worked. So I'm not quite sure.
So maybe it was both of those things.
Yeah, it could have been a combination of both. But they were going to be going back to their homes for the evening. I think Barbara was staying with Christine for they were just having like a sleepover. Yeah. Now, they were riding together down the towpath, and it was dark, obviously. But Barbara was a little up ahead of Christine. She was just riding a little faster. Now, Barbara had a flashlight. She did have something attached to her bike. And in the sources I saw, said that Christine might have had one too, but it was broken, so it wasn't lit. Now, Barbara's bike, and this is another thing, because no one was here to say exactly what happened, it goes both ways. One of them, their bike toppled. We think it might have been Barbara's bike that toppled. And Christine saw this happen and was like, what the hell just happened? How did she fall over? So she was worried, and she stopped her own bike, got off, and like ran to help her because she was a ways up the towpath. Sure. But before she could reach her friend's bike on the ground, a man stepped out from the darkness with an axe and swung it into her head.
Oh my God.
Immediately knocking her unconscious. Now, 8:15 a.m. the next morning, June 1st, George Costner was inspecting a wall near Twickenham, which is along the River Thames, and he spotted something strange in the river. And this was near St. Catherine's Convent, just to give you a little more geography here. When he looked closer, he said he could tell very quickly that this was the body of a young girl floating in the water. He immediately called police. Now, when they pulled her out, they could tell that she was a teenage girl, and she had been hit in the head with an axe and also in the cheek. Oh. She had also been stabbed at least 3 times in the back.
Jeez.
Yeah. And when they brought her in for an autopsy, they could tell that she had been raped before she had been dumped in the water. Her skull had been fractured by an axe blow. And when they finally were able to make an identification, they found out that this was 16-year-old Barbara Songhurst.
Oh, 16 years old. 16.
Now, apparently the pathologist described her attack as being carried out by a, quote, expert rapist.
What the like, maybe choose a different way of wording that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means or how that is determined, like, but it's horrific all the same.
Right. You would just say, like, this person unfortunately has experience and knows what they're doing.
Yeah. It was a little confusing to me, but I was like, okay, so, because like you said, afterwards, he came out and said, like, it was clear that this man had done this before.
Right. That's all you have to say.
Exactly. Which is like, okay. And it's also like, how though? Like, tell me how you know that.
Right.
I just can't, maybe my brain can't wrap around it. But either way, Really sad. And Detective Superintendent of Scotland Yard, his name is Herbert Hannon, started the investigation into this horrific crime now.
Your home should show off who you are. Now is the time to boldly write the newest chapter in your home story. And your main character? It's Ashley. Ashley has styles that balance timeless appeal and modern trends to bring your personal look home. Yes, these are well-crafted and affordable pieces with eye-catching design, but they're also built to stand up to real life. With features like stain-resistant performance fabric, options that are incredibly durable, easy to clean, and stain-resistant with machine-washable covers. Plus, Ashley provides fast, reliable, white-glove delivery right to your room of choice, so you can style your space without any stress. Ashley was nice enough to send us a bunch of new pieces for my pod lab at my house, and when I tell you they deliver it to your room of choice, unfortunately, they did have to deliver to the attic, but they could not have been nicer about it. I got, or was gifted, I should say, the Revion Lake sofa and love seat. It's in this like olive colored velvety fabric. It's so nice. I will say it is so freaking easy to clean because if you know me, you know that I have a white cat and a black cat and then a multicolored cat. The white cat loves to just roll all up on this furniture and leave his hair everywhere, but it's so easy to vacuum. I also got the Meili coffee table. So I have that, like I said, in my attic, but I'm ready to order another one for my living room because this coffee table is so beautiful. It has this like antique old money vibe to it. I absolutely love it. And then finally, I got three actually of the core stone end tables. They have little shelves in them so you can dress them up and, kind of like personalize them to your style. I highly, highly recommend all of the pieces that I got. And I just recommend Ashley in general. It was such an easy process to shop with them and the delivery, all of that from start to finish. It was awesome. Visit your local Ashley store or head to ashley.com to find your style. The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Now, they brought in frogmen, they're called, which are trained police scuba divers. They call them frogmen.
Oh, that's interesting. I never heard that before.
Yeah, and they had them search the river. And apparently, while this was all happening, upwards of 20,000 people were on scene.
Damn.
Because of the Teddington River pageant, which was happening as part of the coronation festivities.
And was that the pageant that she was going to be a part of or no?
I don't know. I was actually looking to find that out and I couldn't find an answer to that. I wonder if it was, to be honest.
So horrific.
Yeah, exactly. And what's even crazier about this is they just pretended this was part of the pageant. Like they
locating a dead body.
They had frogmen in the water and people were like, "Oh, what's going on?" And they're all kind of just looking around. And they were just like, "Oh, don't worry about this body search, everyone. It's not that at all. Like, we just have these guys here as part of the pageant."
What?
And apparently they had to announce to the crowd over the loudspeaker, "We are not looking for bodies. We are only here for the pageant."
Like, why would you be here for the pageant?
And also, like, if somebody didn't realize, like, if somebody wasn't thinking that those were police scuba divers, then you've just made them be like, wait, what? Like, why would you be here looking for bodies?
Right.
Like, no one's thinking you're looking for bodies. What the hell?
That's like going to steal the cookie from the cookie jar and saying, I'm not going to take this cookie from the cookie jar.
Like, you shouldn't announce that. No. You brought attention to the fact that there are frogmen in the water now.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Truly.
Like, come on.
Truly. Now, while they were searching the river, they weren't finding anything, and they were looking for clues at this point because, again, they don't know that there's 2 girls missing.
Right.
Now, they're also looking for the murder scene because they don't know where this happened, so they're looking around the area. They ended up finding it. It was very close by to where they had found the body, and it was near a tree. They could tell it was the murder scene because blood was soaked all over the ground.
Because this was like a very, very violent crime.
Very violent, because he had essentially stepped out from behind a bush while she was riding her bike, swung an axe at her head, knocked her off her bike unconscious, dragged her into the brush, raped her, and then stabbed her 3 times in the back.
And presumably did the same
thing
thing to her friend.
And
at the same time.
Exactly. Now, they found blood all over the grass, the ground, like near this tree. It was horrific. So now they're like, okay, this happened right here, clearly. Mm-hmm. So now they're looking around being like, there's got to be more clues around here. So they searched into the brush surrounding the towpath, and they find something pretty quick. They find a pair of women's shoes, and they're like, okay, this must be hers. And they find some socks. They're like, okay, he threw them in here. But they're still searching in that area, and they find a second pair of women's shoes.
Oh, no.
And they're like, well, wait a second. And these aren't old. These aren't dirty. They haven't been here for a while. These are new shoes that were thrown in clearly at the same time the other ones were. So now they're like, wait a second.
Where's our other body?
Yeah. Now, Christine Reed's silver and blue bike was discovered 2 days later on June 2nd in the River Thames. And they realized this was not Barbara's bike. And now they've talked to the families. They found out that Christine and Barbara were together. And now that they know they've identified Barbara, they know they're looking for Christine. Mm-hmm. And now they've found Christine's bike, but they don't have Barbara's bike. So the assumption was that whoever killed them jumped on Barbara's bike and ran away with it.
I see.
So Barbara, again, Christine is still missing, but it wasn't until 4 days after, on June 6th, that her body was also discovered, floating in the water near Glover's Island.
Oh.
She, too, had, like you said, been hit in the head with an axe. She was stabbed in the chest over 10 times.
Oh, my God.
And she had been brutally raped. Ugh. And what's horrific is, like, they had been brutally raped as they died.
Right.
Yeah. And pathologist Keith Mant later reported that the killer of these women must have been a monster as strong as an ape. He was like, the strength it takes to subdue 2 young women and do what he did to them and then throw them in the water, like drag them somewhere and throw them in the water. He's like, this guy's strong.
And at this point, have they realized that the first incident is related?
No.
Not at all. They haven't realized it at all. Okay.
So right now, this has just happened. They've already released Alfred Whiteway on suspicion of that rape of the 14-year-old girl. So now they're sitting here and they have not connected these 2 at all.
It's taking everything in me not to be like, is it him?
Is it him?
I mean, I did just do that.
Now, the search for clues continues because now they have 2 dead bodies. They have 1 bike. They know there's another bike. They know there's more here. So they bring in dogs. They even, Detective Superintendent Hannon even had them drain the River Thames.
Wow.
Not the entire thing, obviously, but like a
section.
big portion of it,
right.
like a section of it.
That's a big deal.
And they like were going through the mud on the bottom, like looking for things. They weren't finding much of anything. They went door to door. They asked if anyone knew or had seen or heard anything. 900 servicemen from the Bushy Park U.S. Air Force Base in Teddington were questioned. None of them knew anything. The only thing they could really get was they talked to the 3 boys that they had spent time with at the campsite. They got their stories, were able to check it out that they did not follow them into the towpath and do anything. They didn't have any kind of thing to do that. And they all agreed, like, nobody had sex with anybody that night. Like, they must have been raped because we did not do that. And they also talked to 2 other boys who had been camping on the loch, like a little ways down. And they said, actually, we heard screaming, like women screaming around 11 p.m. And we had checked to see if we could see what was going on, but we couldn't find where it was coming from.
Ooh.
And then they were like, and we heard it, and then it stopped. So we just figured we didn't know what to do at that point. We're teenagers.
Yeah, and at least they tried to find the source.
Yeah, they tried to like locate it. When it stopped, they were like, okay, like I guess.
And it's not like they could whip out their cell phones
Exactly.
and report
Again,
anything.
this is 1953, exactly. Now, this was also 11 p.m. is right after or around the time when the 3 boys watched Barbara and Christine leave the campsite. So this lines up. Now, initially, they were working on the assumption that probably 2 men had carried out these crimes because there's 2 victims. It's pretty brutal. Both had been raped.
Right.
It's like, that's a lot. And it was actually a man named Duncan Webb, who was a crime reporter for the News of the World at the time, who was in town and reporting on this. And he suggested it was likely not 2 men, but more likely 1 killer. And he's like, I know it sounds crazy because this is a lot, but he said that the injuries and MO were the same. So it would be strange for 2 men to be involved and do the exact same thing to the victims at the exact same time.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, so he was like, that's weird. He was actually questioned because he happened to be in Teddington the night of the murders. So when he came forward and told them I was in town, they were like, you need to be questioned.
Oh, man.
He was released. He had nothing to do with it. But when I looked at Duncan Webb, because I was like, that sounds familiar, that name.
When you said that, it actually sounded familiar to me.
He was dubbed the greatest crime reporter in the world in the 50s.
Holy shit. And they were like, we're going to need to bring you in for some
we
questioning.
don't believe you. But he had done tons of exposés. He covered a ton of like organized crime shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he had actually been physically attacked a ton for his reporting. Like he had been and put himself in a lot of danger.
That's the thing. That's a scary job when you're like out in the thick of it reporting. Like,
oh, yeah.
That is freaky deaky.
Scary. Now, according to The Guardian, it says, quote, by only 37 years old, he had been slugged, kicked, lunged at with knives, shot at, knuckle dusted, and was once the target of a speeding automobile that raced onto the sidewalk of a narrow Soho street and tried to smash him against a building.
And my only takeaway from that is knuckle dusted.
No, I knew that was going to be your only takeaway.
Knuckle dusted. That means punched, right?
Yeah, knuckle dusted.
That's fucking great. That's so much better than a knuckle sandwich.
A knuckle dust.
I'm going to knuckle dust you real quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a punch.
That's what it's. Yeah, like my knuckles are dusting your face off.
Knuckle
'cause you're
dusted.
pissing me off.
But that was just like an interesting little side thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, whoa, Duncan Webb, that's crazy.
He's lived a life.
He has. I'm telling you, go look him up. Now, 1 month after these murders, on June 12th, a young man of 22 attacked 56-year-old Patricia Birch.
I've heard 22-year-olds.
You have,
before.
haven't you? She said that he rode past her on his bike, and she said he definitely saw her. He made it very noticeable that he had seen her, and he stopped. And he apparently started following her like a fucking creep.
Ew.
And then out of nowhere, she said he grabbed her and tried to force her into the bushes, but she fought back.
Jesus.
He also like bandaged a knife and said, I know how to use this. And she was like, okay, no.
So what a fucking loser.
Yeah.
I know how to use this.
Yes. It's like, okay.
We all know basic cutlery, sir.
we all know. Now, she fought back, like I said, and she ended up offering, she said, why don't you just take the contents of my purse? Like, just take my purse. Because she was like, like, you're not attacking me.
She said, you know what? I'll bargain with
She
you.
literally was like, take whatever money's in my purse. Like, not worth this. Like, bye.
Wow, good for her.
And he did. It worked. She was able to convince him to go away and just take, I think it was like 17 shillings. Now, she described him later to police, obviously, because she was luckily able to get through this without being physically, like truly physically harmed. And she said he had a cleft chin. Mm-hmm. He was strong and sturdy appearing. Mm-hmm. He was also wearing overalls and brown gloves.
I don't like overalls.
I don't like that he is wearing overalls at all. So this leads to 5 days after this attack, Alfred Charles Whiteway was brought back in for questioning.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
He better have been.
By Herbert Hannon.
Get your butt back in here.
Get your buck back in here. So this was based on, what's crazy is that he wasn't even brought back in for questioning because of the Patricia Birch attack. He was brought back in again now to talk about the original attack on the 14-year-old. Because they were finding more stuff out. They were talking to more people. His name got brought up a few minutes, like somebody mentioned seeing him
ago.
a few more times is what I meant. Again, it's been a day. My brain is just like leaching out of my ears. But again, it was not based on the Patricia Birch attack or the murders at this point. Although police at this time were starting to connect some things and starting to be like, could he have been involved in, 1, the Patricia Birch attack, and 2, the murders?
Yeah, like, what's this guy's deal?
But unfortunately, he was questioned. They couldn't get anything to keep him on, so he had to be released again, even though his clothing matched. And he was a literal, at this point, he was like a professional hatchet thrower, too.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You just buried the fucking lead on that one. You said, oh, and by the way, he was a professional hatchet thrower.
Now I'm going to get into this because we're going to talk about Alfred Whiteway here.
What?
But at this point, it slipped out that, yes, he did like to throw knives and he was actually pretty good at it.
Wild.
Now, once the news of the Patricia Birch attack came out and she described her attacker like she did, suddenly police are like, wait a second, this is definitely the same guy. This is definitely the same guy. We have a serial rapist happening here, and it would not shock us if he was involved in the Barbara Songhurst and Christine Reed
Of
killings.
course not.
So they were like, this sounds like that guy that we just had in here, so we should bring him back. So they brought Alfred back in for questioning on June 28th, 1953. And after questioning, he was now finally officially charged with the rape of the 14-year-old girl and the attempted rape on Patricia Birch. So finally they are able to hold him for something. He is charged for something. But again, they don't have him for the murders yet.
But they have him at least.
They have him, and they can hold him right now. Now, let's talk about Alfred Charles Whiteway.
Do we have to?
Who is this fucker?
I don't know. I don't
is
even
he?
want to know. Like, fuck this guy.
Well,
but we gotta know.
We gotta know. So he was born June 21st, 1931 in London.
Oh, I think that's like the day. It actually, I know it is the day cancer season starts.
Oh, okay.
Cancer men.
Uh-oh. Ooh, cancer men out there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that shade.
Again, generalization. I'm sure some cancer men are absolutely wonderful, but you have experience.
Oh, yeah. My ex was a cancer.
Yeah.
And yep.
Yep.
That tracks.
Yep.
So unfortunately for Alfred's family, they were very poor. His father died when he was 14. His mother worked as a domestic servant, and he had 8 siblings.
Holy shit.
So there was not a lot for anybody.
No.
Lots of neglect, lots of stress.
Lots of knives to throw about.
Lots of knives to throw about. He was always in trouble from a very young age. He was always stealing things. Sometimes, I'm sure when he was younger, it was out of necessity. I'm sure he was stealing food and such.
Just hungry.
But that kind of turned into he was stealing all kinds of stuff, stealing purses, stealing things that just didn't belong to him. And he was doing it at this point just for the fun of it. He was sent to reform school and literally failed reform school.
Wow.
So there's that.
So that's when you're a bad seed.
And like I said before, this is when he became obsessed with knives. And he became obsessed with throwing knives. It's like a thing. And he became really adept at throwing hatchets, knives, and machetes. And being able to hit a target like very far away.
Isn't it weird that like axe throwing is like the new craze?
Yeah.
Well, it's not new anymore, but
My fear with axe throwing
is your head, right?
is always not, well, it's just that somebody's not going to let go in time and it's going to whip back and hit them.
Like a boomerang? I didn't.
Not even like a boomerang that you're literally just going to like whip it the wrong way because your arm isn't going to know to let go of it.
See, my biggest
I know
fear,
that's illogical, but
it's not that illogical. My biggest fear is actually a little bit more logical. But you have to like swing when you do it, you like hold the axe behind your head. So like, what if it's just the wrong way? Like, I'm a clumsy bitch and I'm a forgetful bitch.
You think you would put it upside down?
What if like it spins in your hand and you don't even realize it, and then you just ka-chunga the back of your head?
Okay, I see what you're saying. So I was thinking you thought you would hold it upside down and just like clonk your head.
No.
But you're saying like the sharp part is supposed to be facing up.
Yes.
But if it spins in your hand, then you're chopping the back of your neck.
Yeah,
I get that.
yes.
That's a pretty logical fear.
Yeah, thank you. I think so.
I think that's logical.
Wild.
Mine is more like how you have to put it over your head and then you whip it. What if you don't let go and you hatchet yourself in the stomach?
I just don't want to hatchet myself anywhere.
It feels scary, but it's also something I would love to be good at. Just to say I'm good at it.
Axe throwing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at it.
It's a real power move to like throw an axe and hit the target.
My friend, like, I think it was like right when we got out of high school or like a little bit after no. It was actually way after that. It doesn't matter. But anyway, my friend in her backyard, her dad set up like an axe throwing facility.
A facility, if you will.
Yeah, and we just like spent a whole night throwing axes once.
So you did throw axes?
Yeah, I've done it before.
Okay, that's cool. I've never done it.
It's an activity.
It's an activity.
It's pretty fun, but it is worrisome in the middle of it, you know?
Yeah, you're just worried. A bunch of people around you holding axes. I don't trust people.
We've also just like progressed so much as a society. I mean, we haven't, but you know what I mean?
Have we though?
But like games have progressed so much. Like we could sit down and play a board game.
That's true.
We could toss a horseshoe.
A horseshoe.
A horseshoe.
It reminds me like of like the Highland games in Scotland. How which those are fucking cool.
Didn't our cousins used to like be in those?
I don't know.
Did I make that up entirely?
I think you completely made that up.
You guys listen. Were you in the Highland games?
I think you totally made
Did I make that up? That might have been like a tale I was told as a youngin'.
Wow.
Though, because like, you know, she did tell some tales.
It would be cool if we have cousins that were in the Highland games.
I actually remember like being told that.
Yeah, that's a lie. I don't think we have cousins. Maybe we had like descendants or ancestors that were part of like the original Highland games.
Are they still like a thing?
Yeah, like they have the Highland games now. There's like big Scottish men who just like throw giant tree trunks.
I'm dying right now. I was 100% told that
That's
our cousins
wild.
were in it. Specific ones too.
Here's
Specific
the thing.
cousins.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just didn't know that.
I'm going to text them after this.
I don't think so.
You know they're going to get around to this and that group chat's going to be popping.
I really don't
Shout out to our cousins.
Cousins, were you in the Highland games for some weird reason?
I feel like you wouldn't have missed that.
They definitely weren't. That's awesome though.
That's wild. I need to go through all the things I was told and fact check them because there's been so many that just simply weren't true.
These are fun.
One of them was like, your dad doesn't love you. That wasn't even true. I'm kidding.
Oh, man.
Totally joking.
That was just a ha-ha.
It's a funny laugh, ha-ha.
Sometimes you just make jokes, you know?
Sometimes you're a sad, sad child, so you can be a funny, funny gal as an adult.
Sometimes comedy. Sometimes.
How did we get here?
I don't really know.
Because
we were talking about hatchet throwing, and I said it reminds me of the Highland games, and you were like our cousins, and I was like,
you were like, where are we?
So sorry, we took that quick detour. No matter what, this piece of shit was really good at throwing hatchets. Okay. So that sucks.
What a detour.
And it's not a great little tick for hatchet throwing. No, I suppose
it's not.
You don't want to claim him. Nobody wants to claim him.
I don't know her.
I do not know her.
Okay, let's have some real talk, just one-on-one for a second. I know you know this feeling. You start your period and the only pad that you have available is uncomfortable. It's like crunchy and weird. We can literally start our car from our phones, but we're still settling for crunchy, uncomfortable pads. Girl, listen, when you're looking for softness and protection, Kotex has you covered. They are changing the game with a completely redesigned lineup of pads and liners that are designed around what women actually want, like Kotex Bamboo. Kotex Bamboo has a 100% bamboo-derived viscose top layer that provides ultra-soft protection, which means you don't have to worry about feeling itchy or uncomfortable. It's like the worst feeling ever. It's gentle on the skin and it's made without fragrance too. Check out Kotex.com for more details on the new and exciting launch of Kotex Bamboo, available in regular, heavy, overnight, and daily liners. Every flow covered. Now available at retailers nationwide.
Here's a quick podcast for all you true crime fans. The Case of the Missing Reeses. It was me at the store, with my mouth. Motive? They're Reese's. What was I going to do? Stop myself? Tune in next time to see if I do it again. Spoiler, I will. Wow, that had everything. Reese's, suspense, Reese's.
Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At 15 years old, Alfred went to Cotswold-approved school Borstal, which, if you remember, Carl Panzram was definitely a Borstal kid. There was a couple of others that we have covered that are Borstal kids.
Seems like it doesn't turn out too well.
I've never really read one that turned out well, but I don't think I'm really looking for Borstal stories that turned out well.
You should start doing that.
Or maybe they don't write about ones that turn out well.
Maybe they don't write about it.
It's basically for like emotional difficulties, behavioral difficulties. You know, he went here after he was caught stealing a bike. Mm-hmm. So see, he's graduating to not just stealing food for necessity, but now he's just stealing for the hell of it.
The sad thing is like back then the reform schools were not even trying to reform you.
Oh,
so
no.
God only. And we know what happened to Carl actually while he was there. So we can presume that something similar probably happened to this dude.
Yeah, definitely not great. He was described while he was there, and he's 15, remember? He was described as angry and miserable. He was difficult. He was cruel to animals. He was very, very weird and like forceful upon like women, like where this was like a boys, Borstal, but the women teachers he was like very weird with and very forward with. They were very uncomfortable with him. So already something's brewing here.
Yeah, something's off.
He's being aggressive and forcing himself at women already.
We don't like that.
He's just an asshole. He actually went to prison for a year when he was 17 for theft. Man. And when he got out, he finally was like, you know what? I got to get a real job. I got to stop stealing shit. I got to make some money. So he got a job in construction.
Okay.
And coworkers said he was definitely an asshole.
Awesome.
But he was good at the job. But they said his temper was fucking nuts. Like he had just a hairline temper that just shot off.
It always sucks when those people are really good at the job because you're like, well, I can't get rid of you, but you suck.
Exactly. It's like, why are you good at this?
Shut up and get your job done.
Yeah, and everybody was kind of uncomfortable with the growing obsession he had with knives.
That will make people uncomfortable.
Because he was
10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and it's because he was also really strong. Like weirdly strong. So he's obsessed with knives and he's like superhuman strong.
He's like strong.
He could like climb scaffolding like a monkey climbs. Like he was like spider up a wall kind of thing. And his arms, they said, were like tree trunks. Like he was just like a big strong guy. And they were like, he made us uncomfortable. Yeah. He also had like a real obsession with sex, like in a real aggressive way. Like he always talked about it. He was obsessed with it. He was very like crass about it.
Crude.
They just didn't like it. He made everyone uncomfortable. He was also very nearsighted.
You're like, so he was so strong. People were freaked out about it. Liked knives a lot. People were freaked out about it. And then on top of all that, this motherfucker was nearsighted. I'm like, me too.
Same. But no, the fact that he's nearsighted is like a little important later. It actually draws back to the Murder Mile UK podcast and what Mr. Buchanan done there posits about what might have happened the night of the murders. Nearsightedness may have had something to do with it.
Oh.
It's very interesting because he was nearsighted, like very nearsighted, like could not see.
This motherfucker was nearsighted.
You know what it is? He didn't do anything, just like a little bit.
Yeah.
He fucking did it. He was huge and strong. He was obsessed with knives. He was a fucking professional hatchet thrower. He was obsessed with sex. And he couldn't fucking see.
Yeah.
So hard.
He could just only close up.
But he could not see over there. Like, he could not see over there.
Not a far-sighted motherfucker.
He was such an asshole, and he had such an ego that he refused to wear glasses because he thought they were for weak men.
Go fuck yourself.
And it's like,
glasses are for sexy men,
I was
okay?
just going to say,
We love a
around
man in
here,
glasses.
we are a man in glasses podcast, okay?
Only. In fact, I actually convinced Drew recently not to get LASIK.
When I thought Drew was going to lose his glasses,
We were
I was
sad.
like, I'm upset about it. I love his glasses.
I was trying really hard not to be sad about it, and then I was like, Bubba, you can't do it.
Please don't do it.
And he was like, I think I'm just going to get new glasses.
Hell yeah.
And then he got new glasses. It's just a quick sidetrack. The motherfucker got new glasses, and oh my God. That's how I feel.
You know, glasses. John wears glasses. We love glasses.
Wears great glasses. Just one more quick side note. Drew showed us the glasses that he got, yes?
Yeah.
He got glasses that are even better than those, and he was too, nervous to show us.
Drew's adorable.
He's so cute.
I love Drew.
I love him.
And I love Drew, and I love glasses.
And you know, he's the complete opposite of this guy.
Of this guy.
There's your segue back.
Because this guy refused to wear glasses. Like,
what a fucking weenie.
Okay. Okay.
He's an L7 weenie.
We don't want you in the glasses club anyway.
Yeah, you don't belong here.
Stay out of here. Now, around this time when he was coming into, young adulthood, he was getting into his 20s.
God, he's not even in his 20s yet.
That's the thing. Like, at this point, he was probably 19, I would say, had just gotten out of prison,
Same.
that whole thing.
I'm totally, that was a joke.
And it's because that was a joke.
People are looking at my prison record.
She does not have a prison record, I promise.
I do not.
But this is when it's getting it's coming out of him being a teen and being obsessed with sex and being weird around girls to becoming an adult who's obsessed with sex and knives and
at this point, does it seem like he's even had any sex?
Well, now, and he has, and now he feels like he is owed it.
Oh,
he's one of those that feels like one of those. You know what those are. He feels like he's owed it. If you're a woman and he wants it, he's owed it, and he's going to take it. So this becomes his thing. He's going to take it if you don't want to give it.
Ew, what the fuck is wrong with it?
Now, around this time, he became fixated on a girl named Nellie. Nellie was 16 years old and he was 20.
Wrong.
And he saw her with her friend at a park. I think it was literally a playground. She was 16, but kids hang out at a playground.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time.
Just sitting on the swings or something.
Yeah.
He literally stalked her around the perimeter of this playground for hours.
Okay,
and just
Michael
watched.
Myers, what the fuck?
Yeah, he wishes.
Yeah,
But
he couldn't even.
He just walked around staring at her and then followed the two of them down the towpath, by the way, followed them. Then he followed her to her home all the way to her door and then asked her out after he stalked her to her door and cornered her.
What?
Unfortunately, Nellie was apparently into it and she said yes. They started dating and within 4 months they wanted to get married.
So she was love bombed.
Yeah, she was 16.
Yeah, she was groomed.
Exactly. And her mother fucking hated him.
Of course
Had
she did.
His number from the second she met him.
We are a mama stan podcast.
Hell yeah. They know.
We love a good mama.
We love a good mama.
We also love Mama Tot.
Oh, we love Mama Tot.
So much.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought Mama Tot up. On TikTok, go find Mama Tot.
If you haven't found Mama Tot by now, just be prepared for the level of comfort that your soul is about to be doused in.
I love Mama Tot.
MAMATOT.
And she'll just sit down with her lunch and she'll just talk to you.
She'll
and
even
it's so soothing.
Yeah, she'll eat lunch with you because if you don't have anybody to eat lunch with, she's just
find Mama Tot.
She just wants to put so much love into the world, and it better
she does
love her back.
And you know what we do?
I love her so much.
Yeah.
Alaina showed me her, and I love her so much.
I saw she people were being dicks to her at one point, and I was like, if you can be a dick to Mama Tot, then you need to go figure stuff out.
You gotta go elsewhere.
Because she's literally the most wholesome, pure human.
Yeah.
But yeah, go find Mama Tot and just tell her that she's great.
Yeah, she's
Please.
way better than This guy,
great segue. So the mom, not Mama Tot, but this mom.
Yes.
This mom was like, he's rude. He's a loser. He's a thief.
he's too old.
He's not going to provide anything for you. Like, he's irresponsible. Like,
He
fuck
shouldn't
this
be
guy.
interested in a girl your age.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? All of these were correct. Mama was right.
Check.
So what they did was he got her pregnant on purpose so that it would force the mom to allow them to get married. Oh, which is always good to bring a human life into the world just to like spite someone. That's a great reason to do that.
It's also just like, why are you using a 16-year-old right now? Like,
that's the thing.
And now she's going to become a whole ass mom and her childhood is just gone because of your dumbass.
Because you're convincing her that this is what's the right thing to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The level of like just mental torture this man is.
He's terrible.
Ugh, I don't like him.
So they had a baby girl on May 20th, 1952. And this is the year before the murders, by the way. He had his baby girl.
Christ.
He wasn't able to be there when she was born, though, because he was in prison for 6 months for burglary.
Oh, this both of these poor little girls.
Also, Nellie's mother would not allow him to come in the house.
Good.
So Nellie was living with her mom and the baby, but the mom literally refused to allow him in the house. She was like, no, you're terrible.
Yeah.
Like, stay away from
She's
her.
like, you just went to prison for burglary, dude.
You weren't even here for her birth.
Right.
Like get
the
out
fuck
of here.
out of here.
So she was able to see, like, Nellie was able to see him, but only outside on the steps and in, like, the alleyway next to the house.
Good.
Now, so it just makes it even worse that when he committed these crimes, he had a baby girl, a barely, like, a 1-year-old baby girl, and was married. And at that point, Nellie was pregnant again.
Oh, no.
They had only been able to see each other outside in alleyways and shit, and somehow it happened. Now, until the bitter end, Nellie did defend her husband. She simply could not believe that he had done any of this. But remember, they never lived together.
Right.
They got married after, like, 4 months. They wanted to get married, which, of course, I'm not saying if you get married after 4 months, you don't know each other.
No.
It's just they've never lived together.
Well,
That's a whole different getting to know someone.
And you're 16. Like, this is probably your first very serious relationship.
Exactly. They saw each other for a few hours outside the house. They did not live with each other. So it's like she knew him, but did she know him?
Yeah, because you really start to know somebody when you share living quarters.
It's a very important part, in my opinion, I should say. It's a very important part of the whole, like, relationship process.
I think so, too.
I think you really get to know someone when you live with them, and I feel like it's like, that's when you know.
I always say, like, when we have kids, I'm going to be like, you should live with your whoever before you decide to get married, because I think
you just learn a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I'm not saying she's not right or like she's wrong or right in her belief that, like, she can't imagine that the father of her child and her husband would kill 2 teenage girls.
Yeah.
But he did rape a 14-year-old. Mm-hmm. He admitted to that.
And, like, multiple other
people. And it's
people.
like, so if he's capable of that, he's capable of a lot, unfortunately. And it's like, but she's 16.
Yeah. And
she's 16,
been
17
fully groomed.
Yeah. It's like, she doesn't know. And it's like, what a fucking position for her to be in.
And she's gone in through, like, a fucking whirlwind of a life.
Whirlwind.
Like, she's pregnant twice within a couple years.
Yeah.
And,
married, like, not even 18 at this point.
Like, that's a lot.
So then July 15th, Alfred Whiteway, because remember he was being held on the rape charges, he pled guilty at Old Bailey to those rape charges. Now,
wait, Old Bailey is in my story.
And Old Bailey has been in a few things, like Bermondsey Horror, I think. Like, he's been in a few different, that's cool.
That is cool.
Look at Old Bailey.
When you said it, I was like, oh my God, I just read that.
Yeah, look at that. Now, again, this is the part where I want to bring back the nearsightedness thing, because if you listen to Murder Mile UK, which again I'm going to link, he thinks this is his, like, idea of what had happened. Yeah, and I think it's really smart. Is that he thinks maybe what happened that night, because it's very strange that he went from, he's like basically a serial rapist, but he's raping and attacking women and young girls that are alone, and he's leaving them alive, and then he just leaves.
Right,
like he hurts them. But he hasn't killed anybody before these. And then all of a sudden he does a double murder and a double rape. Like, that's a big thing. So what he suggests on Murder Mile UK is that when he saw either Barbara or Christine coming down the towpath, he saw that one light. because the other light was broken. Mm-hmm. So he saw one light. He thought it was one girl. And remember, one of them was ahead of the other one. So he attacked her, not realizing that there was another one. And then when she came to help her friend, he just panicked and had to go for everything. Like, it just went way out of hand. Mm-hmm. Because he did say that he maintained a million times when he finally talks about this that he didn't mean to. And so what Murder Mile UK says is maybe that's the truth. Maybe he was a serial rapist and this wasn't the intention.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Like, it's a very, like, who the fuck knows? But it's like, this is an idea of, like, maybe that's how, at least that's how it escalated to what it did. Who knows if he liked it or intended that? But
yeah, exactly.
That could be the reason. I thought it was a really smart idea for, like, possibly what that could be.
Yeah, that's a very good.
So that's a very good hypothesis.
Yes, thank you.
A theory, if you will.
Theory. That's the word I was looking for.
Also on July 15th, about a month and a half after the absolutely brutal murders of Christine Reed and Barbara Songhurst, Police Constable Arthur Kosh walked into the Kingston police station for his shift. And he put a yellow and black hatchet down on the table. This is a police constable. And they're like, what the fuck? And he said, so I found this in my patrol car. And they were like, what do you mean you found this in your patrol car? And he said, well, the day after we transported Whiteway to be charged, that was over 2 weeks ago, by the way.
Oh my God.
I found this under the seat of my patrol car 2 weeks ago, by the way.
How did he sneak a fucking hatchet?
Oh, yeah. So he put it in. So this police constable, he found it in his car 2 weeks ago. Then he placed it in his police locker at the station and didn't tell anybody about it.
For why?
Not sure. Then he went out sick until July 8th, saw it in his locker when he came back from being sick and was like, oh shit, I have wood to chop at my house.
I thought you were going to say, I should tell someone I have this.
Oh, you thought?
I did.
Look at you. That's what everybody should have thought right now.
What?
So he took it home and he chopped fucking wood with it. This man found a hatchet in his police car, said, whoa, that's weird. That's not mine. Put it in his police locker, went out sick, came back, found it again, and was like, oh, I should bring this home and chop wood with it.
I'm done.
And then on July 15th, when he walked into that fucking Kingston police station for a shift, apparently he had grown one fucking brain cell and was like, ooh, this might be the murder weapon.
You know that his wife realized that. His wife came out while he was fucking chopping wood and was like,
get that fucking
whose hatchet is that? And he was like, I found it in my police car. And she was like, that's evidence, moron. Like, turn that in.
Oh my God, I could not believe this. Like, how the fuck did this happen? How did he even leave the axe in the car? How did this happen? The police were fucking distracted when they were driving him to the station.
She just motioned driving.
I literally was like, drive. And they had not thoroughly searched him when they picked him up.
If you miss a fucking hatchet.
He was able to hide that murder weapon under the back seat. They didn't see him take a hatchet out of his pants and slide it under the seat.
That's a comedy.
He had the axe in his overalls and they didn't search him before picking him up. So they, on suspicion of aggravated rape, by the way, they did not search this man to put him in the car.
Also, they're lucky that he didn't hatchet them.
That's the thing. This man was being picked up because he had raped someone after banging them in the head with a hatchet.
With that hatchet.
And you don't search him to make sure that, I don't know, he doesn't have a hatchet on him?
Like, what is wrong?
What the fuck?
What is wrong with everybody?
And they were so distracted driving that he was able to pull it out of his pants and slide it under the seat, and they weren't like, what are you doing back there?
Right.
Also, was he not handcuffed? What the fuck happened?
So many questions.
I
have many things to ask.
I'm just like,
that is absolutely bonkers.
So once PC Kosh decided that it was time to bring the murder weapon back into the station.
Did he get, like, fired?
Who the fuck knows? Not. So they send it for testing. But Kosh had chopped wood with it. It was dulled. The fingerprints were gone or completely compromised.
No, he should have been literally off that force.
Exactly. Any blood that was on it is compromised now.
Right. I just don't understand how they, like, what?
Yeah. It was
leaving.
rendered almost useless. And I say almost because although it was now officially inadmissible as evidence.
No.
Can't use it. Thanks, PC Kosh.
And that could have been like the smoking hatchet.
Oh, yeah, the smoking hatchet. That's what it would have been.
Wow.
It was the yellow and black hatchet that was described. It was right there.
They should have, like, retrained that man after that. Like, what the actual fuck?
Well, Superintendent Detective Hannon was ready to use it to secure his confession that he knew he was very close to with Alfred. So he was like, although I can't use this in trial,
I'll use it here.
I can use it for a couple of other things. They also sent Whiteway's clothing for testing to see if there was any blood on them. So now Hannon is still grilling Whiteway at Brixton Prison, where he's awaiting charges for the rapes. Now, he denied. And he kept saying he was at his wife's mother's house with her and his daughter the evening of the murders.
And they said, you're not even allowed there.
I was just going to say, but remember, his wife's mother won't let him in the house. So that's interesting alibi you just threw out there.
Survey says.
Yeah, that's probably no. So he said during an interview, quote, "I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I know what you coppers are. I had nothing to do with the girls. You're wasting your time. The bloke who did that job was mad. I would go my distance to get a bit from a girl who hadn't had it before, but not to murder her."
Oh, my God.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, Alfred.
So he was like, I will rape people, but
I will rape a virgin.
Not murder.
That's basically what I will rape a virgin, but I'm not murdering them.
Oh, like, what the fuck? Also, how do you know who's a virgin and who's not?
Like you're
upon
disgusting.
looking at them.
Yeah, you're the fucking worst. And also, you're nearsighted. You can't tell anything. And you won't wear glasses to correct it.
That's so the most wild
You're
thing.
fucking nearsighted.
And also, get this, you're nearsighted.
You also can't see far away, so there's that.
Yeah, fuck off.
He also admitted during this, which is wild, that he knew Barbara Songhurst.
What?
She lived a few doors down from his mother. And he was at least familiar with her, he claimed. He was like, well, I think I know, like, who she is. Like, I've seen her.
Oh, shit.
Well, actually, he was quite familiar with the Songhurst family. Whiteway had dated a girl named June, who was now married to Barbara's brother, Danny. What? And he had been livid about her leaving him.
So...
But he was actually friendly with Danny at this point, Danny Songhurst. So much so that Danny came to his defense when he was first accused. Oh. Because he didn't think that he was capable of doing something like that.
Yeah.
And the Songhurst family, like, knew of him. Like, they knew who he was. And they all thought he was just this quiet, normal boy. Like, they couldn't imagine that someone was like this.
No, and he was friends with their son.
Exactly. And they're just nice people.
Yeah.
Who, like, why would they ever think that somebody who's at least, like, friendly acquaintances
would
with
do
his
this
son and with, like, this family would ever do something like this? So that was interesting. And he also revealed at this point to the police how much he loved knives and hatchets. And he kept saying, like, I really have come, like, he didn't say it like this, but he said, like, very proficient in throwing them and getting a target from far away. Like, which, again, he's nearsighted. So that's really crazy.
I can't with you.
That's actually, like mildly impressive if he wasn't such a dick.
Is he nearsighted?
He's nearsighted. So this is when he said, actually,
oh, no.
You have my hatchet.
No.
And they were like, we have your hatchet.
What?
And he was like, yeah. And he said, the Kingston police have got it. When I was in the police car, I tucked it under the seat. And then he said, when they picked me up, I had it in my shirt.
He said, you fucking idiots.
In the car, I was sitting in the back and I pushed it under the seat with my foot. At Kingston police station, I was alone for a while and I wedged it under with my hand.
Wow.
So not only did they give him enough time to take it out of his shirt, put it down on the floor and kick it under the floor.
He also left him alone for a bit.
So he could wedge it further under with his hands.
Guys, so it's time for an external investigation.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So at least this is a boom moment because it was his hatchet. He admitted to it, but they still needed to get a confession. He's not confessing to anything.
No, he's just like, hey, you have my hatchet.
He's just being a dick. So they got him to admit through casual conversation that he kept hatchets and knives on him, like in his saddlebag that he had on him. Because he said, I just like throwing them and I like to just have them. If I see a tree, I can throw them at things.
If I see a tree, I just throw a knife at it.
If I see a tree, I just throw hatchets at it.
You would think that you wouldn't have so much pent-up aggression then.
That's
if you
the
just, every time you see a tree, you just throw a knife at it. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, you would think that would work.
Also, trees are alive.
Just be
Let's
nice, man.
not hatchet them.
Well, and then he said he remembers the last time he used his hatchet that the police now had. And he said he was using it at Oldham Lock. And he was throwing it at trees. And he said and they said, well, that's where the girls were last seen on the day they were killed, is Oldham Lock.
Fancy that.
And he was like, oh, look at that. And he was a dick. He was basically like, oh. Like, he was like, that doesn't do anything. So, like, you can say whatever you want. That's fine.
Oh, man.
They then told him, well, forensic tests showed that there are large quantities of blood on your shoes.
What's that about?
Like the crepe-soled shoes that everybody said you were wearing when you, like, raped people. That was the truth. There was blood, but there was, like, a small amount of blood on his shoe. But they were like, there's a large quantity of blood. He called their bluff and was like, I don't fucking believe you. Oh. And they were like, okay, well, that didn't work. So then they said...
Why does he literally, like, sound like your ex, too?
Yeah, it's a little scary when I was reading this. I was like, wow.
Not like the murder and,
no,
and the
like,
rape
not
or
that I
anything
know
like
of,
that.
but, like, but that's, like, that's all.
That's a different day.
But, like, attitude-wise, I'm like, wow, that's familiar.
You know what it is? It's Cancer, and then he's a Gemini cusp.
Oof,
This guy.
This guy's a cusp. He's a cusper. Now, then they told him, so they're going down the line of things, and then they told him... And this was true. They said the curve of the axe that is yours, they said that matches the head wounds for both the victims perfectly. The pathologist confirmed it, that is the murder weapon. It is a perfect match. And he was like, okay. Like, I'm still not going to say anything. And then Hannon went further. He had the knife brought out that was used to stab them. And it was placed on the table. They had found that knife in the river when they had dredged the river at Oldham Lock, where the girls were last seen. So he puts it on the table and he's like, this yours? Like, did you throw that in the water?
You threw that
thought
at a
you wouldn't
tree?
see that again, huh? And Alfred looked visibly shocked at that one, like, oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
And said, oh, you got it out of the water, did you? And they were like, okay. But then he just stopped talking and, like, shrugged, like,
Fucking
still
hate
doesn't
this guy.
So then Hannon brought it up a notch.
I love Hannon.
And he had the hatchet brought out and placed on the table in front of him. Again, it was useless legally, but he was trying to elicit some kind of emotion to get that confession. So Hannon said when that hatchet got put down in front of him, he said that all the color drained out of his face. And he asked him, were you kidding about the blood on my shoe? And obviously Hannon said, no. And he said, you know bloody well it's me, don't you? That was the next thing he said. And he said, it's all up, you know. Well, I done it. What a mess. He said, I'm mental. My head must be wrong. And that's a direct quote.
I think you're just looking for an insanity defense.
I think you're just an asshole, my guy.
They're like, weird. You seem to be pretty highly functioning before that.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're very angry and like, oh no, I must not. So he said, again, he didn't mean to kill them, but he said, I can't control myself around women. He said, when I see a woman, I just have to have her.
Jesus Christ.
And they were like, yeah, we know you're a rapist, so we got that. Now, about the Barbara Songhurst and Christina Reed murders, he said, quote, I only saw one girl. She came round a tree where I stood, and this goes right with the Murder Mile UK theory, and I bashed her and she went down like a log. The other screamed out down by the lock. Never saw her till then. I nipped over and shut her up. 2 of them. And then I tumbled the other one. And then I tumbled the other one knew me. I don't know what that means. And if it might have been like translated wrong. But if it had not been for that, it would not have happened. And then he said, so he's saying, I didn't mean to kill them. I just wanted to rape one girl. It all went to hell. And then he basically blames her friend for screaming when her friend was being attacked. Said it never would have happened if that didn't happen. And then he said, put that chopper away. It haunts me. What more do they want to know?
Absolutely wild.
And then he signed the confession.
I love that he's like, never would have happened if it weren't for that girl. No, never would have happened if you weren't a disgusting rapist and could keep it in your fucking pants.
Exactly.
Guy.
If you weren't,
that's when it wouldn't have happened.
If you weren't sitting in a fucking bush at 11 p.m. waiting to slam a hatchet into some poor girl's face as she rode by on her bike.
That's when it wouldn't
piece
have
of
happened.
Shit.
Ugh.
So he signed the confession, but then once he signed it, he said, I have one question. And they were like, what? And he said, have you found her bike? Because one of Barbara's bike was missing. And they said, no, we haven't. And he said, then I shall say it's all lies. You can tear that up. I didn't give it.
What the fuck?
And they were like, we're not going to do that. You can get fucked. You just did a confession, you fucker. And they just left. They were like, fuck you. Now, August 20th was his, he went in and got charged for the murder of Barbara Songhurst. Mm-hmm. Under British law, he could only be charged for one crime at a time. Okay. So Barbara was the one he was charged with. So the trial began at Old Bailey. It was referred to as the duel at Old Bailey because it was like a very heated series of exchanges. The defense tried to accuse Hannon of tricking Whiteway into signing a confession. The confession was very, tainted because he took it back. They were saying, now there was no recording of it, obviously. There was no recordings of any confessions because that didn't happen until 1991. So standard practice was the confession was written down in a notebook and other officers present were there to witness it. And then the confessor signs to acknowledge that that is truth. And that's that. Mm-hmm. Now, apparently the big argument was whether it was okay that he had put that axe and that knife down on the table to elicit the emotion.
Why not?
And then he was asking whether the axe was placed on the table. The crux of the issue became, was the axe on the table still when he began to confess, or was it put away?
Does that why the fuck would you come down to that small?
But it was potato? That's why things got crazy. They had his wife Nellie on the stand, pregnant.
So he looked sympathetic.
Now it was a 6-day trial, and he was found guilty after the jury deliberated for 47 minutes. Wow. He was sentenced to hang at Wadsworth Prison. He appealed, but it failed.
Good.
And according to Murder Mile UK, he wrote to Detective Hannon 6 weeks before his execution and basically accused him of fabricating the confession. Wrote him a letter and was like, you know what you did. Which is whoa.
Do you believe any part of that?
I don't know. I think he's a bullshitter, but who knows? I don't know.
He may have just been scared to die.
Exactly. And he told him he knew his word was going to be taken more than his was. He was like, you know, your word means more than mine does. And I don't know why you did this, but it worked. I'm going to die.
Either way, we know you killed them. So.
Well, and then he wrote a letter to his mother saying that he didn't do it. He did not kill these girls. And he said that he did figure, though, that he should probably put to death anyways because he had raped that 14-year-old girl. So he said, I should be put to death anyway.
Agreed.
Which it's whoa. So December 22nd, 1953, he was hanged at Wadsworth Prison. The axe that was used, the hatchet, it is still on display at the Black Museum at Scotland Yard.
People love to display an axe.
I know. I've talked about 2 axes on display. That's weird.
Yeah. And
I did not mean to do that.
When you did the Velisca.
Yeah. There's a lot of axes on display.
They're on display.
But also, just to end this, one of our listeners, Holly, wrote in about this case, and it turns out that her grandmother is Barbara Songhurst's sister. What? So it's her great aunt.
Oh, shit.
And she said she's a badass. And that she, she told me the whole story of the Murder Mile, the Towpath Murders. And she was like, I hope I did this proud, which you did a great job telling it to us. And I was like, whoa, that's wild.
Our listener, Holly, her grandmother was Barbara's sister.
Yeah. So it's her great aunt.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is. And I'm sorry about your great aunt.
And thanks for writing us in that, Holly. I appreciate it.
I know.
And that is the story of the Towpath murders.
Wow. That was devastating.
Yeah, it really was.
And
I feel really bad for the families here.
Yeah, seriously. Just every crime is so senseless, but this guy.
Yeah, this guy's just such a dick.
What an asshole.
Because no matter what.
Glasses on him after.
Right. I hope they made him wear glasses.
In glasses.
Because no matter what you think of the confession and all that, he still raped a 14-year-old girl. That's he still attempted to rape a 56-year-old woman.
Yeah. On the towpath, too. Yeah. So it's hello.
And it does make sense to me that he was attempting to do the same fucking thing to one girl, and then shit got out of hand and he went berserk because he has a terrible temper.
Exactly.
And he was probably immediately set off by how this wasn't what he planned.
Was foiled.
And that he wasn't going to be able to rape someone the way he wanted to rape someone that night.
So his anger got, took over.
And he knew he had to do something to get out of it. Mm-hmm. So to me, it makes the most sense that he is the guy. And I think however that confession was elicited, that... I don't know, because recordings are so hard back then, but
it also just doesn't sound like why would it matter if the thing was put away or not?
Well, and it's they like to say that this particular police officer like Detective Hannon, that he was the cop who would do anything to get a conviction kind of thing. And they kind of point to him dredging part of the Thames to
he's
find
looking
this.
for evidence.
But he's trying to find and at that point he was trying to find the body of a girl.
Yeah.
Maybe that I'm okay with. Go do anything.
Yeah, why can't he do that?
So I think they were trying during the trial, they're trying to make it very much he goes way too far.
Lengths,
he goes too far, and he went too far with this confession, and he just pushed it until he got one.
I feel in this case he didn't.
Yeah, this one doesn't. From what I have read and researched, and what I think is knowledge that you have if you read this case, to me it doesn't seem like he did anything wrong.
No, and then did they ever find her bike?
I don't think they ever found her bike.
And he never would say.
If they did, or at least I didn't see anything. If they did, then I'm sure it was
given back to the fam.
Or it was, I imagine it might have been in his possession, maybe. Who knows? But that's not recorded, so.
Oh,
yeah.
I wish we knew.
I know.
Wow. Well, that was a very sad story, but you told it very well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a bummer one.
Yeah.
But one that needed to be told.
Of course.
And again, go listen to that podcast. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool cases on there.
Sweet. Listen.
And if you're in the UK, he does tours.
Oh, go on a tour.
I don't know exactly what tours, but he's very knowledgeable. So I imagine they're very interesting tours.
I imagine.
Well,
we hope that you do all of that.
Yeah.
And we also hope that you keep
it weird.
But not so we're there on the towpath doing weird things.
Yeah.
We'll be doing weird things on the towpath.
Don't do that.
Bye.
Waking up exhausted, foggy, and running on empty? For me, one of the missing pieces was magnesium support. That's why I added Magnesium Breakthrough by Optimizers to my nightly routine. It's a powerful all-in-one magnesium complex with 7 forms of magnesium designed to support relaxation, sleep, stress response, and recovery. If you're ready to feel more rested and have a great summer, go to bioptimizers.com/hags and use code HAGS for 15% off any order.
I like things my way, my coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo, brought to you by Argenx.